y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all. Hey, well, who's ready to shake it up and breathe, and shake it up and breathe, shake it up and breathe, breathe, shake it up. And, well, how you doing today? Hopefully you're doing good. Count your blessings. I know I could have. I guess every time I say that, I don't always count my blessings when I say that. Yet I'm counting my blessing at the same time when I say that. So it's like a paradox. It's a big paradox. Yeah, anywho, what is today's topic? You ready to dive in deep and kind of see where we go? Maybe we're gonna dive in deep. Maybe we shouldn't dive in deep. What if it's scary in the deep end? Yet, we got this, We can do this. So, today's topic is witnessing, showing up and witnessing, right? Yeah. So, the meaning of life today can be showing up, right? So, you show up. And then what? You get to answer the question, did the tree make a sound if it fell in the forest if no one heard it? Because you showed up and they didn't, so I'm just saying. I see the paradox in that, as I said it, yet still. So, what happens when you show up? Then you get the answer. To be able to better answer that question of what it is, to what it's not, to what it can be. Who's sane? Yeah, let's breathe. 1 and go. So, in, out, in, out, in, out, out, in, out, out, in, out, out. Let's just breathe together. Yet, anywho, it's about witnessing, right? That's really what the topic's about, is witnessing, if it's not clarified already. Showing up is something different. But witnessing is the after of showing up. It quite literally has the captivation to keep on allowing all things to come together, right? To witness is to come together in whatever space-time continuum it may be. You still come together. You're still showing you showed up. You already showed up, and now you're witnessing it. Now those are there. Some say, they made the transition, we can say. And now they're somewhere else. They made that transition, right? Yet they showed up, and they just didn't want to. It's not that they didn't want to keep showing up and they're quitters. No, they only wanted to show up for so much. They wanted it to just a little bit, just enough. A little's a lot, right? A little goes a long way. Yet, when you show up, do you not perform and be you? Or do you show up and not be you? That is kind of a question, right? To be or not to be? That is a question. Is it the ultimate question? Or is the meaning of life is? it. And how do you go about witnessing something? You just kind of let it happen, and you keep looking. You keep on looking in the looking glass, and you see yourself reflected back at you, reflected back at you, reflected back right at your sight. Yet, how could we define what we see if we know not what we see, and based around our previous reality? And then I'm like, I don't know. What you gotta say, you got to say what you got to say, but you show up anyway. That's the point I want to say, is that you show it up and you're witnessing today the life of you, in the version of you. You gonna be you today, in the version of you. What you gonna do, it's all up to you, they say. Hey, 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 it's all up to you, they say. Hey, 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 do you? And with a smile and kindness I say, they say, what do you say? Hey, 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 what do you say? It's all up to you today. You know, just breathe and relax. It's all a game in the end. Bottom line, no. I don't know. I guess witnessing is really about, you know, what do you do after the fact when you show up? Do you stick around? How long do you stick around for? You know, in the meaning of life, it is nothing more than witnessing something. You know, sometimes that's what the life is all about, is just witnessing. And, you know, being willing to show up is half the battle. And yet, it all comes down to one thing. How do you witness something? Isn't that a good question, though? I think I've answered that already, though. You just pretty much show up, and then you're there and you let things happen. You're just, you know, doing your best to verbatim the truth. Verbatim. You know. What is the definition of verbatim, you ask? Well, let's look it up. Let me see what I can find. Okay, then. So I looked up the etymology, which is pretty much the definition. It's not the definition, but it is more valid than a definition can be. You know, it's the history, really, the etymology. So anyhow, verbatim is, well, word for word. That's what it means. Yeah, good stuff, right? Good stuff. Showing up is like witnessing it, right? But really witnessing, you're part of history. You're part of the high story. You're part of what is the makeup of what happened. You can dictate it. You know, sometimes you're there witnessing yourself doing something, right? So is that really witnessing, though? Let's look at the definition of witnessing and see what we have to say. I think it pretty much is showing up. You know, showing up is pretty much witnessing. Yet, what do you do when you show up and do something? Is that really witnessing? Sometimes you're just the bystander, though, right? Standing. The second, standing right there as the bystander. Okay, so here's witness, the definition of witness, right? Okay, it's from the 13th century. It's a verb from the 13th century. There's like two different definitions. Okay, well, one's a verb and one's a noun. But the verb is bear testimony from witness, meaning affix one's signature to a document to establish its identity. Is from early 14th century, meaning see or know one personal preference. Observe is from 1580s, related witnessing. Then we have the noun, which is give me a second. So, witness as a noun, assertions of fact, event, etc., from personal knowledge. Also, one who that's everything. One who so testifies. Originally, knowledge, wit. Formed from wit, noun, plus ness, N-E-S-S. Old English, I'm not pronouncing that. Christian use, late 15th, 14th century, is a literal translation from or of Greek martyrs, see martyr, witness, stand, recorded from 1853. Martyr, one who bears testimony to faith. This is martyr, right? Martyr, as a noun, martyr means one who bears testimony to faith, especially one who willingly suffers death rather than suffer his or her religious faith. Oh, surrender, not suffer. Rather than surrender his or personal faith, especially one of the Christian who is former times were put to death because they would not renounce their beliefs. I guess that is a martyr. As a noun, where you get killed. Yet, as a verb, there's a lot more to this witness thing, or martyr. Let's see what else. Hang on, let's get to that point though. Why are we looking at martyr when we're supposed to be looking at witness, right? So it does say it in the first one. So right here, it says it right there. The Christians got killed because they didn't give up their beliefs. They got killed. So someone got killed, is getting killed, and there's a killer. So would that mean like somebody that is like a psychopath and they kill somebody? Does that mean that they just kill a martyr? Because unless they do the Stockholm syndrome, unless that Keely, the one that's being killed, the martyr, does Sherlock Holmes, or not Sherlock Holmes, Stockholm syndrome, then are they a martyr anymore? Or are they a witness? I don't know. I guess they can't be a witness because they're not a martyr. Doric, Greek martyr, early martyrist, grave martyrist, or in Christian use, martyr literally means witness, literally witness. Oh, so in Christianity it means that. The Greek word is sometimes said to be related to care, trouble, be anxious or thoughtful. Remember, Latin, memor, mindful. However, Beeks has phonetic objection to this and suggests it rather a loan word from pre-Greek for sense shift from abstract testimony to a witness. Compare French witness, one who testifies, originally testify. Yeah, I can see that, okay. The word was adopted directly into most Greek languages, more high Norse used nor native foreign primarily torture witness, meaning one who suffers death or grievous loss in defense or on behalf of any belief or cause. Love, etc., is from late 14th century. General sense of constant sufferer, a victim of misfortune, calamity, disease, etc., is from 1550 century, 1550 century, martyr complex, engaged desire for one's sacrifice is associated by 1916. Wow. And then as a verb, put to death as punishment for adherence to some religious belief, especially Christianity. Okay, so it doesn't just mean that. It just means, like, it can mean that, but it means quite literally witness to that. You're a witness to that death because it's happening to you and you're just letting it happen. See, that's what a witness is. They just let it happen. No matter what's going on, they just let it happen. And you become a martyr. So you're a martyr when you're a witness. Interesting. And then, so we have wit, the noun of wit, plus ness is one who also testifies. What is that from? Original Christian use 14th century. Doesn't see before that. Mental capacity, wit. Mental capacity, wit. More commonly, root, understanding, intellect, sense, knowledge, consciousness, conscience, from Proto-Germanic wit source, from also Saxon wit, Norse English wit, Swedish wit, Old French wit, knowledge, understanding, intelligence, mind. German wit was joke, Gothic, ignorance. So wit, unwitted. Ignorance, from weird to see, metaphys, to know, related, or English wisdom, to know. A source of wit, verb. So much to do in etymology. Oh my goodness. So anywho, let's bring some music back, shall I? I guess we all could say that sometimes we are witnesses that become a martyr, and then essentially we're accepting a Holocaust, regardless of what kind of Holocaust it could be. I know that's a very traumatic word right there, but I'm just saying it's I'm sure if you look up Holocaust, there's gonna be something there of some kind of positive. Maybe not a positive, but anywho, going back to what I'm talking about is, I guess the opposite of a witness is what? Someone that takes a stand. Someone that has a standing for something. Someone that stands up for something. And in and of themselves continue on a path of sometimes least resistance, but that's more like being a witness and a martyr. And sometimes, taking a stand, you do the hard-headed thing. Yet, so that's kind of what the opposite of a witness is someone that takes a stand for something and, does it. Yet, you're beautiful, and don't forget that. Never, ever let yourself never recall that. Always recall that. Always be willing to, be a martyr and a witness that way in your life, Witness yourself being loved and finding yourself, being true to yourself and just loving yourself all the way because you're worth it, right? You really are. Yet, how will you know? By witnessing and showing up. Pretty much. As I can say, they are the same thing, or at least two steps in order of themselves. Yet, how do you go about seeing your kind of beauty? By witnessing and by witnessing and by witnessing it. You will see your beauty in the mirror, and you will take a stand and be victoriously inside of you. Because, I guess, in a way, taking a stand is like the next step from showing up to witnessing and then taking a stand. Sometimes you just can't be a witness. You just can't. You have to step in and do the right thing. Because if you don't do the right thing, then you're doing the wrong thing, essentially. Because even if you're doing nothing, that's not doing the right thing. It's worse than doing the wrong thing. At least doing the wrong thing, or at least attempting to do something, not just gonna let it happen, not just gonna be a witness and a martyr to this murder of a Holocaust. Just saying. I guess the last thing I want to leave you with today is, for sure the thing I know about the meaning of life is that it's different for everybody. These podcasts, or whatever these are, voice transmissions to the future from the past. Are just there to get you to think. Are here to get you to ask the better questions. And that you're perfectly fine never expanding yourself and just staying the same, which is like being a martyr. And what do we know about being a martyr? There being a witness? What do we know about that? Being a martyr, right? And in and of itself, you're basically getting killed. You're letting something kill you. So, unless they're killing you with kindness, then are you really going to, just sit there the whole time and be a good slave, in a sense, to the moment, slave to the moment, kind of a thing? Are you just gonna give up and do nothing about it? When sometimes that's the worst thing you can do, because you essentially let whatever was coming come and keep coming and then happen. And then you somehow think you got a right or an obligation or a presence to complain. Do you? In of itself, do you really have that right? When at least now, I'm not talking about the past occurrences that happened where you were the same thing, except what's the difference now? You know a little bit more about what is a witness and how does a witness become a martyr, and what happens to a martyr? Well, they either kill themselves as a verb, or they get killed as a noun. You still end up dead. Something still kills you. Or at least, from this research that I see that right now, in of itself, Yeah, anywho. You have a beautiful one. And always remember, you matter in this world. If you can't find the meaning of life, well, it's because you're not looking in the right places. You have to look inside yourself. You have to be the captain of your own ship. I know it's challenging to take that responsibility. Yeah, that's exactly what it is, right? You're just as culpable, and responsible as what is responsible to stopping it or letting it happen if it happens. If you didn't do anything about it, it was, your fault. Regardless of the story you tell yourself, right? So anywho, everybody, I'm gonna go ahead and sign off, or whatever's clever, and go ahead and post this and get this day going, So enjoy your day today, or whatever it is that you're gonna do. meaning of life in everything. Because isn't that kind of the meaning of life? It's to find the meaning of life. Somehow, somewhere, in some place, it all comes true. Yet, never get ahead of yourself. Always be willing to take a step forward, forth, and go forth and be victorious in yourself. And always be willing to love yourself because you deserve it. Never stop loving yourself. No matter what happens, you're always connected to life. And life is a positive energy, right? It can seem negative, but it's always positive. You know, like karma is just getting you to see the wrongs that you've done to make you do the right thing. That's what karma is. And dharma is just you doing the right thing no matter what. Just doing it. Anywho, be peaceful, my loves and my friends. Aloha.